When we left off, we had just re-stepped the mast after a total re-rig on our new boat, Yoringa. Well, it has been a very busy few days, but we have Yoringa here. 90% all put together, 95% maybe all put together, and that means we can take off sailing. And guess what?
The boat's got a problem.
We are.
The boat's heeling over. It's a problem.
Yeah, what are you doing up here?
I don't know. The boat's like tipping over. What do you call that?
Sailing.
Oh yeah. I forgot what that felt like.
We are sailing out of San Diego.
Sea lions. Hey, Lucy's up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we do got to get rid of these dock lines though. I don't think we're planning on being at a dock. Well, maybe in a couple of days. I don't know what we're doing actually. I guess we're gonna go get fuel somewhere or something. Should check out over here. This is, I don't know which one it is. Warship something. We'll check out the number of it. I think it's returning back from duty somewhere. Some big flags flying there.
Bye, San Diego. See you later.
Boat back here. Well, of course, we leave the harbour not far offshore and we're like, we need to get the fishing line out. There's a lot of fishing around here and there's kelp and everything, so we're like, surely maybe we'll catch some fish for dinner. Hillary, what do you got?
We got a fish on the line, but we're gonna throw him back. He's a little baby. Little baby bonito, skipjack, or something like that.
There you go.
Let him live another day and get bigger.
Hey, Mr. Fish, hold on tight. Hillary's gonna let you go.
Free in a moment. Bye-bye, Mr. Fishy. Get big.
Just keep swimming.
Okay, lure's going back out.
Yeah.
For something bigger.
Let's get something big for dinner.
Sailing north along the Southern California coast, we planned to make a quick stop along the way to pick up some friends, and then kept on sailing towards our destination.
How's it feel being back at sea?
Feels good, except for not with the motor on.
Well, we're almost there. First really good sail here on Yoringa. It was hard work beating up here against the wind, and yesterday we had virtually no wind, so it was a bit of a motor show, unfortunately. But somewhere around the middle of the night we managed to sail. Got a little bit of wind. We've just raised the mainsail up again back there now. And we're probably close reaching now. We're actually falling off a bit. We made really good time. We're passing Anacapa just over here off my starboard side, and Santa Cruz Island is right in front of us. So kind of heading back to where it all began. It's like our first landfall after leaving Oregon over 4 years ago now. On the other side of this island, we're coming in on the south eastern side. It's a very calm morning. We have a bit of breeze this morning, which is beautiful. It does blow quite a bit on the other side of these islands. There's a small craft advisory, has been for the last number of days, but on the inside, very dead calm, flat. You don't even feel anything, virtually no swell. So Hillary's down below sleeping still, as well as our guests. They just went down after having the early morning watch. I'm just up here enjoying the sunrise. Very calm. Moving along, maybe about 3.5 knots or so right now. This is Santa Cruz, take a look. Our fondest memories of arriving here, whoa, in the Channel Islands was the abundance of life after about 11 days at sea coming down from Oregon. We came out into this wonderland of the Channel Islands, and sure enough this morning there's a nice big pot of dolphins here to greet us. They're coming right on by. Have a look at this.
We're going towards it.
Yeah. What was the forecast?
Yeah, I think it was 10 to 15 today.
I'm watching. I'm admiraling. Is that what you do when you don't actually do anything? We're sailing directly towards Santa Cruz Island. Actually, we're on the western end of Santa Cruz Island. I don't know, maybe less than a mile off of Gull Island, which is a nice bird poopy island. And we're planning on crossing over this channel between Santa Rosa and Santa Cruz today. And Mondo is at the helm right now.
Someone else at the helm.
How's it going?
Hello. Who are you?
I'm Armando from San Francisco Bay Area, and just enjoying a lovely sail down here in Southern California where the water's a little bit warmer.
Doesn't look like it at the moment, but along with Mondo, we have another person on board back here too.
Hi.
Well, this is our little inaugural cruise on Yoringa here. We're out, made our way up to the Channel Islands and picked up some crew, some friends. We met Jamie and Mondo, I think, right before we bought Macara. They were traveling in their van, and they're sailors as well. So we thought we'd invite them on board for our inaugural sail to be back cruising again. Well, our nice, lovely sail turned into not as nice of a sail.
The outhaul block car, I guess, where the outhaul runs up through the back of the boom, popped out, the rivets broke, and that pulled free. So the wire is currently being squashed up against the boom, the metal wire. Hillary, someone had a good idea, maybe you did, Jamie? Hillary did? Someone said about reefing.
Hillary did.
Someone said we should put a reef in, which was a great idea because that relieves a bit of that tension off the outhaul, or quite a bit of that tension off the outhaul. And it was needing a reef anyway. And then while we were putting the reef in, the Genoa decided to come down. Couldn't figure out why it wasn't staying filled. Mondo was at the helm and we blamed him. We're like, why are you falling off? What's happening? Why are you heading up?
Why are you flogging the sail?
I was wondering the same thing. I thought somebody had let the sheet go, and I tried to adjust my heading, and it was like, well, it's not filling.
Well, and you wouldn't have been able to see. Obviously, you couldn't see the head from here.
No,
because of the main. And then you noticed looking up.
Yeah, I was at the mast tidying up the lines after the reef, and the sail starts falling, and I finally looked up and noticed there was no halyard attached to the top of the Genoa, so it was working its way down.
The perfect knot.
The perfect knot.
Not so
perfect knot. Apparently, Hillary thinks there was a knot on there that looks like it was called the perfect knot, so we looked it up. And that's somehow, well, we haven't seen the end of it yet because unfortunately the end of the halyard is now somewhere in the mast, so we have no halyard. But we dropped the sail on deck and tied it up, and we have a reefed main, and we tucked our tail between our legs and we turned around.
So this is what was in the middle of our boom. We pulled our outhaul all the way out. We connected a feeder line, so the end is back by the mast that you pull, got pulled in, and somewhere in the middle of the boom, this little block and tackle gives you some purchase to pull on the outhaul, which is cool. This is our feeder line here, so we pulled that out, and connected here was this cable. One of these eyes was shackled on there, and the other end came out onto this shiv, which is totally frozen. And so that is why those rivets popped out, is this was not spinning, so when we pulled on the outhaul, basically it was just pulling this off, which is not the way the tension is supposed to go. So since we don't have another one of these blocks, we have at the very end of the boom some shivs that would have originally been for reef lines, probably. And we are going to substitute the middle one of that to be our shiv for the outhaul with this new piece of Dyneema that I just spliced. Okay, be back in business. Just need to pull that feeder line, make sure we get the original outhaul line back at the other end of the mast. This is our jib halyard piled up at the bottom of the mast. I'm gonna pull it out and then drop a feeder line from the top of the mast down and try and hook it through this little hole here.
This is gonna be fun in the anchorage.
Got the line out, so the line is fine. This is the halyard, it didn't chafe through or anything. The knot just came undone, which is probably why you should splice all your halyards rather than use a knot. We should have fixed that when we had everything down, but did not think about it. Well, last night we were unsuccessful in feeding the new halyard down the mast. It was getting stuck on something, so we're gonna try again this morning. We tried to build up between the feeder line and the halyard kind of a little cone to get it nice and smooth transition, whatever it needs to get over and through. But when Ty was up the mast, he did discover what we think is the cause of the problem. This is the top of our furler. And you can see there's 4 holes in there. It's supposed to be 4 screws holding that on tight so stuff doesn't spin around when we're tacking or filling up the sail or whatever. And there was only 1 screw that I'm dropping. There's only 1 screw left holding that in, so it was loose and swooping around and probably caused the knot to come undone. We don't have any more screws, unfortunately. We left our large collection of all of our stainless screws somehow accidentally on Makara. So we're gonna try some seizing wire to seize it together and see if that works as a jerry rig until we get back into Santa Barbara area with supplies to fix it properly. The screws probably should have been put in with some Loctite. I don't know if that did or did not happen.
Expert line puller.
Pulling out.
Knock. Oh.
Yeah, hold on, I'll pull back.
Okay. I think I'm still stuck.
Stuck?
Yeah.
Okay, let me back it up again. A little bit more challenging than we were hoping for. The halyard that we lost yesterday, not quite sure what happened there. I'll give you a little look-see. So this is the top of the furler here. There's like a head stopper unit which is in my tool bag down here, and that just kind of stops your halyard from wrapping and starting to untwist your forestay. But our halyard, you can see here, it's an internal, so it goes up here through the shiv and runs down inside the mast. And our problem with that is we had to feed a messenger line down. The messenger line looks like it might have had a little bit of a snag in there. Now I've got the line running through, and we're just going to try and put that head unit back on. But it is extremely rolly here. It makes it very difficult to. I'll show you the. This is the reef that we're kind of lying off of here. See your ringer down there. There's a nice swell running in here. It was up here until dark last night, and I was going numb. And we gave up. We thought we'd try it today in the daylight. There's a little bit more swell today, and we're not double anchored at the moment either, so we're kind of getting a bit more of the roll right now. So what I've got here is seizing wire, and I'm going to use that. I don't know if you can see from your perspective there, but there's four socket head screws, and 3 of them have disappeared, worked their way out and gone. This is the only one we've got. I've got it in there right now loosely, and I'm going to Loctite that in, and we're going to try and run seizing wire, that might be too small now, through the rest of this as a workaround until we get back and can get some correct socket screws. See if we can get it tight enough without breaking it. Oh, hold on. Whoa. There's a big rolling swell there. Getting a little seasick up here, actually. There's the new knot here that Hillary has put on. It's actually a bend, I think. It's the studding sail halyard bend that she's put on here, and you can see she's whipped the tail here just to keep it together. We couldn't splice it onto here, or we didn't want to try splicing it onto here, because splicing old double braid line is never really an easy feat. But let's hope this should hold pretty well. Not really quite sure why that other one came off, but it was a different bend at least. We're going to give it a raise now. Looks like it's the most sun we've had in days.
With our repairs completed to the best of our ability, we hoisted sail to see if they all held. Of course, there would be more things to fix when we got into Santa Barbara, but more on that next time. Thanks so much for watching, and a huge thanks to our patron Adrift crew who support the making of these videos. If you enjoyed, we'd love a thumbs up and for you to hit the bell to subscribe. Until next time.